There is a business model running inside every supermarket on Earth, and almost nobody outside the industry has ever had it explained to them. Not because it is complicated, because it only works if you don't understand it. The model has 5 layers. Each one is hidden by the layer above it, and the layer everyone sees, the one with the food in it, is deliberately the least interesting part. By the end of this, you will never walk into a supermarket the same way again. Let's start with the number that makes no sense. The average net profit margin of a supermarket is between 1 and 3%, 1 to 3 cents on every dollar of food sold. A bakery does better. A car wash does better. A vending machine route does better. And yet supermarket chains are among the most profitable businesses on Earth. Some of the wealthiest family fortunes in the world were built on grocery retail. How does a business with 1 to 3% margins produce that kind of wealth? It doesn't. Not on the food. The food is not the business. The food is the cover. Layer 1. The store is not a store. It is a landlord. The moment you own a supermarket, you own something far more valuable than shelves. You own positions. And positions in a high-traffic store are among the most valuable real estate in consumer commerce. A food manufacturer wants their new product in front of customers. They come to you. You don't just agree to carry it. You charge them the right to exist inside your building. The fee to introduce a new product into a regional chain starts in the tens of thousands of dollars. In major markets and large national chains, up to $250,000 per product, per market entry. And the fee structure doesn't stop there. Eye level costs more than knee level. The end of an aisle costs more than the middle. The checkout zone is the most expensive real estate of all. Every position in the store carries a different price, the way a billboard on a highway costs more than one on a back road. The total slotting fee market in the United States alone is estimated at around $9 billion per year, flowing directly from manufacturers to retailers, not to customers, not to the brands you see on the shelves, to the store that owns the shelf. The product sitting at eye level in front of you is not there because it is the best product. It is not there because it won an independent test. It is there because someone paid for the location. The shelf is real estate. The store is the landlord. And you, the person standing in the aisle, are the foot traffic that makes the rent worth paying. Layer 2. The store competes with itself and always wins. Look at any supermarket shelf. Next to the branded product, the one with the famous name, the advertising campaign, the celebrity partnership, there is usually a quieter alternative. The store's own label, simpler packaging, lower price. These two products are frequently sourced from the same manufacturer, sometimes literally made in the same facility. The difference is not the product. The difference is who controls the margin. The branded product was made under someone else's terms. The manufacturer controls the price they sell it at. The retailer takes whatever margin is left. The store brand product is different. The retailer controls everything: the source, the cost, the retail price, the margin entirely. Private label products deliver margins 25 to 30% higher than their branded equivalents on essentially identical products, sitting on the same shelf. In parts of Europe, this model is so developed that the largest grocery chains carry fewer than 2,000 products, almost entirely their own brands, at margins that make traditional supermarkets look inefficient by comparison. In the United Kingdom, store brands account for more than half of packaged goods sales in major chains. In the United States, the shift is accelerating, with more than half of retailers identifying private label as their primary growth priority. Every time a customer reaches past the national brand and picks up the store brand, the retailer has just doubled their margin on that transaction without changing anything about the product. Layer 3. The store is also a bank, and you are the depositor.
You walk in on a Monday, you fill a cart, you pay at the checkout. The supermarket has your money immediately. When does the supermarket pay the supplier who made and delivered that food? 30 to 60 days later. Between the moment they collect your payment and the moment they actually owe money to anyone, they are holding a vast pool of cash. Your cash, multiplied across millions of daily transactions, across hundreds or thousands of stores, every single day, without interruption. The largest grocery chains in the world are permanently holding floats estimated in the tens of billions of dollars, money that technically belongs to suppliers, but is currently sitting in the retailer's account. This is not a side effect of the business. It is a structural feature of the model. In a very real sense, a large grocery chain is running something closer to a short-term financial institution than a food retailer. It collects money before it owes money. The gap between those two events, measured in weeks, repeated millions of times, is where a quiet, invisible fortune accumulates. Layer 4. The store is also a media company. And this is the part that changed everything. You scan your loyalty card at the checkout. You get a small discount, a few points, a voucher. What the store gets in exchange is a complete behavioral record of your household. What you buy, how often, at what times, how your basket shifts when your income drops, whether a price increase made you switch brands, whether a promotion brought you back.
For decades, retailers used this data internally for pricing decisions, product ranging, targeted promotions. That alone was enormously valuable. But in the last few years, something bigger happened. The largest grocery chains built what the industry now calls retail media networks, essentially advertising platforms. Brands pay the retailer directly to reach you, not through television, not through social media, but inside the retailer's own ecosystem, on the app, on the in-store screens, in the personalized offers sent directly to your phone, in the sponsored results when you search their website. This is the fastest growing segment in the entire advertising industry right now, growing faster than social media advertising, faster than streaming, because it reaches customers at the moment they are closest to purchasing. That targeting is worth far more than a billboard. One major grocery chain generated over $500 million in a single year from this business alone. And that figure represented more than 35% of the company's entire net income. The loyalty card gives you $2 off your weekly shop. The store gets an advertising business worth hundreds of millions of dollars annually, built entirely from watching what you buy. Now, layer 5, the product they sell at a deliberate loss. This one is the most psychologically sophisticated piece of the entire model. Somewhere in every major supermarket, there is a product priced below what it costs. Not by accident, not temporarily, deliberately, permanently, over years, sometimes over decades, while the underlying cost to producing that item continues to rise. The most famous example is a rotisserie chicken at a large warehouse chain, held at the same price since 2009. The cost of the chicken, the labor, the energy, the packaging, all rose significantly around it. The chain absorbs an estimated $30 to $40 million in losses on this single product every year, and does it intentionally, because the person who came for the chicken does not leave with only the chicken. In traditional supermarkets, the equivalent is milk, eggs, and basic bread, priced at or below cost in most large chains. Customers know the price of eggs at their local store more precisely than they know their own monthly utility bill. Retailers engineered this. They know that price familiarity on a small number of staple items creates a perception of overall value that drives loyalty across the entire store. They also engineered where those items sit. Milk at the back, eggs at the back, bread at the back. You came in for one thing. You walked past 30 meters of full-price, full-margin product to get there. The deliberate loss on the staple item is the cheapest marketing budget in retail history. Now, zoom out and look at all 5 layers at once. Layer 1. The store charges manufacturers for access to customers.
Layer 2. The store competes with those same manufacturers using its own products and wins on margin. Layer 3. The store holds the float between customer payment and supplier payment, running a quiet financial operation in the background. Layer 4. The store monetizes behavioral data from every transaction, building an advertising business on top of the retail business. Layer 5. The store engineers loss leaders that pull customers in and route them past everything else. These 5 layers are not separate businesses. They are one machine. Each layer reinforces the others. The foot traffic from the loss leaders makes the shelf positions more valuable. The shelf positions generate slotting income that subsidizes the loss leaders. The loyalty data from millions of transactions makes the advertising network more precise. The private label program extracts more margin from the same transactions. The float finances everything in the background. The food moves through the system and produces 1 to 3% margin. The machine around the food, the real estate, the media network, the financial float, the data engine, produces everything else. And here is the part that nobody discusses. This model requires you to not understand it. If you understood that the product at eye level paid for its position, you would not assume it was the best option. If you understood that your loyalty card was powering a $500 million advertising business, you might think differently about what you were trading for a discount. If you understood that the staple items at the back of the store were engineered specifically to route you through maximum merchandise, you might enter differently. The model works at the scale it does because it operates in plain sight. Every mechanism is visible if you know what you are looking at. Most people never know what they are looking at. Now you do.